It is my pleasure to welcome to the program once again the CEO of Christian Savings, Dan Mazengarb. Dan, kia ora, good morning.
Kia ora, good morning. How are you, Andrew?
I'm doing very well. It seems like it's been a while, honestly, with one thing and another. It is genuinely nice to have you on the program again. Something which I've been wanting to talk to you about is some deregulation, something called open banking. And when I saw the headline, honestly, one of my first thoughts was, I wonder what Dan Mazengarb thinks about this. So now I have the opportunity to ask this question. Is this something that affects you guys at Christian Savings?
Well, it could have a positive effect for our clients. Yes, open banking is and in some ways already in the market in various forms, but it effectively is a way of being able to transact your financial data and actually instigate payments in a seamless way through third-party providers. So if I wanted to pay you, for example, I have to go online, I have to create a payment and send it over. If you were at my bank and you wanted to assess my affordability, I'd have to send you bank statements and things like that.
Yeah.
Open banking basically is a new framework where third parties can automatically drag payments and data out of my bank account to make things happen.
It sounds easier, but it also, I've got some concerns and question marks about this. Giving the bank access to my data and even my money, that doesn't sound necessarily like good news, Dan.
Yeah, it does sound a bit scary. And so there is a bit of work going in behind this. So a couple of big milestones is for the banks to get all friendly on tech interfaces, APIs that are used, right? So there was a deadline earlier for that. But the other part of it is getting the regulatory framework to give consumers confidence that their information is going to be shared securely and safely. So yes, it is. It is a little bit scary thinking about it. I mean, one kind of fun example I heard is a swear jar that was created with your phone. So if you've got an iPhone and you've got Siri listening, you can set something up so that if you swear in front of your phone while your phone's listening, it will automatically take 20 cents out of your bank account and put it into a swear jar fund or donate it to charity. So those are kind of the upsides, right? Well, I don't know, depending on how much you swear, really. But there are great innovations. I mean, the other thing that you can do is budgeting apps. You can sync a great third-party budgeting app with your phone, and so when you walk into a supermarket, the phone can automatically see where you are and tell you, hey, mate, you've got this amount to spend on milk this week or whatever it is. So there is a flip side to the risk, is that there's a lot of innovation, and I think that will drive competition. It will drive better customer experience.
Because I wanted to talk to you about the competition aspect of it, because for a while, sometimes under the guise of data protection or confidentiality, it's kind of allowed the big Aussie banks to be in lockstep and say, well, no, this is information, we're not going to share this, and it not only protects their monopoly, but it also doesn't allow the smaller players like Christian Savings to be involved with that. You're kind of locked on the outside, right?
Yeah, look, competition has been a real hot topic over the last few months, with the Commerce Commission releasing its report, its inquiry into competition in the banking sector. And we've got 27 registered banks in New Zealand, but 85% of the market is tied up with 4 banks, and those 4 banks are not New Zealand banks. So, a huge amount of profits going overseas. There is a feeling that we should be doing more. We should have more New Zealand-owned institutions that that can compete, meaningfully compete, and more competition is likely to drive more innovation. And so you're likely to see more of a push towards things like open banking as new players are allowed in the market and allowed to scale.
I suppose if a new bank is able to offer different services, it's not just all about the rates, but able to offer different services, different innovations. The advantage of the smaller players is they're able to innovate and implement new policies much faster than some of the big old guys, perhaps.
Yeah, and look, I was talking to someone the other day regarding a non-bank type funder in actually my region of the world, and they charge higher than the banks.
Yep.
But people are so fed up with the big banks, they're happy to go to these smaller guys who are a bit more expensive and pay a higher rate because they get much better service.
Yep.
There's more flexible lending criteria. There's more personal connection, and it's not just about rate when it comes to banking. It's about trust. It's about personal service. It's about a whole lot of other things. So I think there is really good, there's a good environment there's coming changes that should hopefully increase competition. And I think that we should be looking positively at the future in this space.
And I think it says that there's more in the financial sector than just return on investment. It is about trust. It is about relationship. It is about being able to connect with somebody whose advice you value, rather than the big banks doing everything by long calls on a Q center or AI interfacing with you. I mean, it's just not the same, is it?
Yeah. I often joke. I've got this farmer who manages a few $1 million for a trust in rural New Zealand, I will say.
Mm-hmm.
And when he wants to check his balance on deposit at Christian Savings, he flicks me a text.
Yep.
Hey, mate, I'm just walking into a trust meeting. Can you flick me through my balance? And I often sometimes think, gosh, why don't you just call our staff who actually know this stuff? I'm busy, I don't know, doing CEO stuff, but it's such a great reflection of the relationship we can create because we are small and we are nimble and we do have the time to take those phone calls and those text messages. And that actually means a lot to consumers because we're not just a big amorphous organization. We've actually got faces and names.
Exactly. And it's not just about the size and the connection, but of course, Christian Savings has got this unique proposition for people who are wanting to support what churches and other Christian organizations are doing. This is a way of bringing your faith into your financial relationships. Now, that's something that the big Aussie banks can't offer, right?
No, I'd like to see them claim some connection to faith. But no, we are, from what we can see, the only one in the market in New Zealand offering a return on investments that has a kingdom outcome as well as a financial outcome. And that's a really special place to hold in New Zealand. And we thoroughly enjoy, providing that offering to the New Zealand market.
Well, we certainly appreciate the spiritual aspect that you bring to the financial centre, the financial markets, as it were. If people wanted to find out more about Christian Savings and find out more about the work that you do, what's the best way to get in touch, Dan?
Yeah, jump on our website, christiansavings.co.nz. We do have real humans on the phone, so do give us a call and a real human will be ready to answer any questions you might have.
That's fantastic. Do check it out, christiansavings.co.nz. Thanks for joining us. Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.